For those of you for real, like when you graduate, you really want to be successful, raise your hand. All of you want to be successful. All right, I just want to share 3 quick principles with you guys tonight because I think a lot of times it's difficult to actually accomplish a goal when you're not accustomed to seeing people do it. All right, and this is challenging, especially in the African American community because we don't have like 3 or 4 generations of models. All right, and this is what I mean. When I say a role model, I mean somebody who, you know, you can look to and say they were successful in this particular area. All right. And so I just want to show you because, again, success means, we talked about this before, success means something different for everybody. Some people it's a car, some people it's a house, some people it's a relationship, some people it's money. But the one thing for sure is this, that we all want to be successful, all right? But listen to me when I say this, because this is critical. It's hard to become successful when you don't have a model, all right? Man, you guys know we work at 205, we got the big little, mirror or the big window in the office. And you gotta sit in there sometimes because you can learn a lot just being in the office. So, on a regular basis, we might see a kid drive up in a new Mercedes, the 500 series. All right, and 90% of the time that they drive up in a Porsche truck, a Beamer, when they jump out, 90% of the time they're from what ethnic background?
International.
International, Asian students. All right, listen to me. I'm talking about they 18, 19 years old jumping out of a 500 series Mercedes Benz. And what's crazy is this one guy who every single day, I don't know where his class is, but he parks either illegally or he parked just in the middle of the road. Right? That's huge. Because what he's saying is, I don't care if it costs $25, I don't care if you tow it, I got the money. So I'm about to go turn in my paper, and I don't care if they take this every single day. The Porsche, they driving Audis, and they pulling up in the Audi. I'm looking at the Audi like, wow, this is a car for somebody who's graduated and who's already reached success. So when you're getting out of Audi and you parking it illegal, you off in handicap. Like that's $100 and some ticket, and they gonna tow you a ride. So you got a lot of money when you don't care. Right? And so if you from the African American community or other communities, if you got a car, you geeked up because you got a car. I don't care what kind of car it is. You got a Ford Focus, you big on campus. Right? You got the spoiler kit on the Focus. You got you took the original, sound system out and you didn't put your own sound system in. You got the subs in the back. You doing it. Everybody like, my man got a ride. We can go to the movies, we can get off campus. The Ford Focus, souped up. We geek. My man, let me tell you something. There are a lot of people who go to work every single day who cannot afford a Mercedes Benz. There are people with good jobs who cannot afford a 500 series, right? So the first thing I want to say is this. We got to keep it real. For most of us, it's going to be challenging for us to be successful because we're not used to seeing it. And so I'm not saying we can't do it, but I'm saying you got to be real about the fact that you've not seen success, and because you have not seen success, you're going to have to work a little harder than the average person. All right, we were at Ferris State University last night. We drove back. The weather was terrible when we first started driving. The weather was terrible. I couldn't hardly see. So by the time I drop everybody off and I get to the crib, I get home about 1 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed about 1:10, 1:15, and I got up this morning at 5 o'clock. Right? Now, I'm just like everybody else. I want to sleep. But I realized I'm working on my website. I got my first chapter of my book out. I had to do some things to it today so I can get it out. That's the only thing on my mind. Like, I got to get this book out. I got to get this book online because I got to have folks just, cashing out like it's an iTunes. I'm selling chapters. Eric, I'm about to take it to the next level. I ain't even doing the whole book. I'm selling chapters. So if you can do it, because I'm watching, I'm learning. So iTunes, they not doing the whole album no more. You can buy a song for 99, so you're going to buy a chapter for 99. We about to get on the Facebook fan page, that sucker out. I know thousands of people from when I traveled over the years, they going to all go and buy the book. So I got to get up at 5. Why? Because my daddy can't cash me out. So if you're driving a Mercedes, either that's your father ride and he got paper, or either that's your ride and your daddy got paper. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So you ain't got to hustle like me. You might not have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because your daddy got paper. You can get up just before it's time to go to class. What am I saying? I'm saying if you're not a second generation parent who got money, then you need to get up. Right? Flat out. You need to be able to get up and do what you need to do. So watch this. I just 3 things because that wasn't none of them, right? Let's go to the first one. All right. The first one is, I talked about it a little bit. You got to get up, you got to get out, and you got to do something. All right, look, when you look at this, I want you to see that there's 3 different things that I'm talking about. The very first one is you got to get up, right? You can listen to me. You only got in 2 days, it's 48 hours, right? 72. I think they're going to show it somewhere up there in a minute. Can I get that? I want to get that real quick because I told them 3 things. Get up, get out, and do something. I don't care who you are. Let's keep it right there. Let's leave it right there. Can we leave it right there? You got day 1, 24 hours. In one day, I don't care who you are, you only get 24 hours in a day. All right? Which means what? Just go all the way through it. I want to show it to you. We're going to come back and work my way back. 1 month, 720 hours. 1 year, 8,640 hours. Let's go to the next one. Y'all got to catch this one. All right. 4 years, you got 34,560 hours. Now, you better catch this because I'm not talking about days no more. Right? And for most of us, we will never be successful because we go by days instead of going by what? Years. Listen, you got to catch what I'm saying, right? You got to stop looking at days, weeks, months, years. Now notice what I put 4 years because that's when you're supposed to graduate. 6 years. Now watch the time. You only have 34,560 hours. All right, give me a second because I'm getting excited right quick. Right? Because I realized something. When I started studying successful people, what I realized successful people do is that they don't go with the days, they go with the hours. And if you only have 24 hours in a day and you sleep in 8 of those hours, then you only have what left? You don't listen to me. You only operating with 16 hours to be successful. Now, let's leave sleep alone. You slept for 8 hours, you got 16 hours left. How many of y'all talk on the phone? Right? You have talked away your success. So some of you, if you look at your day, you probably spend an hour or 2 hours on the telephone. And this is what's crazy about the telephone. It's not a redeemable value. So when you talk to your homegirl on the phone and you gossiping with your girl, I'm not talking about the phone conversation. I'm not tripping about that. What I'm tripping about is you eating away at your hours. Right. So you only have so many hours in a day to be successful. 8 of them just went to sleep. Another 2 of them went to what? Talking on the telephone. Listen to me, that's 10 out of 24. You only got 14 left to be successful. And out of that 14, some of it you use in the cab. You was in the cab for about an hour chilling. 2. Right, 2. I got 2. You in there 2. Right? Listen to what I'm saying. You have less than 8 hours, some of you, to get what you need to get done. And I'm not tripping. You can use your time like you want to. But if you're only putting in 8 hours a day and you think you're going to be successful when you get out of here, you got another thing coming. People who are, let me say something, I want to say something real quick about success. Success, whether you know it or not, is very intentional and deliberate. There has never ever been a person who blew up and was successful and it happened by chance. Yes, not a rapper. The rappers, they spend time writing and they're in the studios. Right? We're the only ones thinking we're going to blow up and we're not putting in no hours. Right. So watch this. This one is the deepest one to me. Like, this blew my mind. Now, according to, and I don't know, where you guys are, but according to the Bible says that the most that's promised to man is 70 years. Right? And watch this, 70 years look like a long time. But when you look at it as, you only got 604,400 hours. That's short. That's short. And for most of y'all, if you would start, listen, this is what I want you to do when you get home. If you start subtracting video games, TV, just chilling, if you subtract that, you probably down to about 300 and some thousand hours. When you finish playing. And so it's not a lot of time. This is the thing I love about hours. When you look at Michael Jackson died at 50 years old. But when Mike died at 50, he probably accomplished more than most people accomplish. Why? Because of the hours Joe Jackson had my man putting in. Right. They was putting in hours. Michael Jackson didn't become Michael Jackson because he just knew how to moonwalk. Michael Jackson became Michael Jackson because Joe Jackson at 5, like, get your butt up. At 5 years old, get up. I want y'all dancing. I want y'all 4 hours, 5 hours. All right, go take a break. Come back, dance. There are those of you who think you're going to be successful. You know, you in these different majors, and you're not even competing amongst yourselves real good. So how you going to compete against Asians? That's real. You're not even competing against each other well. How you going to compete against an Asian? You say, why you say Asian? I'm saying an Asian because many of us feel like Asians are just smart. Like they was born with some like different kind of brain. Yes, sir. But I'm going to tell you the truth. If you ever go on Google for anything other than looking at these celebrities and what's going on, listen to me. Why are you looking at what's going on in somebody else's life who's blowing up? Like, why you spend time worried about what Beyonce doing with Jay-Z? That don't have nothing to do with you. You're not going to blow up worrying about Beyonce, right? Watch this. The amount of time you put in every day is going to determine whether you are successful or not.